Greetings and salutations, my artsy friends. Oh, how I have missed you all. I have so much to talk to you about. And all of it good. There's enough ick in the world right now. Let's just concentrate on some art today. Just for a little while. Hey, Lauren. So I have a couple of really important things I want to talk to you about. I have a new printable launching today, and it is named Tessa. I'll show you that in a sec. And my friend Catherine Kelly has a YouTube channel. Please follow her today. And then once you follow her today, you'll be hooked because she's a talent like no other. But anyway, she is doing a video hop today on YouTube, and I forgot the girl who's heading up that video hop. But anyway, Catherine is using my Artist in Residence printable, and wait until you see what she is doing with that Artist in Residence printable. So be sure to follow her on YouTube, and I will repost the card that she created on my Instagram a little later. I don't know about sharing her video. I'm kind of new to the YouTube world, but I'll try and do a little figuring this weekend. Maybe my crack team of techies, Lauren and Tessa, can help me figure that out. Anyway, let's see. Oh, I need to turn myself off. There we go. Hey, Catherine. So I will just tell you, vertigo is no joke. It is miserable, miserable, miserable. So, but I'm finally starting to feel like I don't have a rush of ocean in my noggin every time I bend forward slightly. So, I have been able to draw some and paint some, and so I have lofty goals of creating a video of me painting on the new printable, because I kind of came up with a fun little technique this week. Hey, Chris. So anyway, remember to follow me. The only fee for this class is to like and follow me on Facebook and Corbiere-Scott Designs, and like and follow me on Instagram and Corbiere-Scott Designs. And you can purchase my art printables at corbiere-scottdesigns.com. And once you've taken this class, please ask to join the Facebook group, Let's Get Artsy with Anne. Please answer the questions. Most especially, leave me your email so that I can send you short and sweet messages, but so that you are aware of what's happening in our little world of Anne Corbiere-Scott Designs. Hey, Tracy. Hey, Tess. Shout out to Tessa. Let's hope she feels better soon. She's feeling a little under the weather. So let's all send our positive vibes to her. If you have any questions about my stuff, just please email me at annecorbiere-scottdesigns@gmail.com. So without further ado, hey, Carolyn Kavanaugh. I want to show you the newest printable, and it is called Tessa. So it is up on the website right now, but I will tell you that my beautiful blurb that I wrote about Tessa and this design disappeared. So I will rewrite it and repost it. The design is up there and you can purchase it, but if you want to hear the flowery things, no pun intended, that I have to say about Miss Tessa, then you'll have to just wait a little bit. So here is the version of Tessa that I've painted this week. I will be creating this into some cards. and I will post those on Instagram. Hey, Kel. Oh, hi, Timmy. Hi, Keely. I will be posting these on Instagram and Facebook this week. But for now, let's talk about this week's artist. This week's artist is, are you ready? Da-la-la-la, Claude Monet. So Claude Monet is the father of French Impressionism. And he, you know, it's kind of interesting. The Impressionism is one of my favorite genres of painting. And I used to do it in art school. I did a lot more in acrylics. But this week I wanted to really challenge myself to watercolors. And hey Stephanie, I know, who doesn't love Monet? But I want to tell you a little about him and about Impressionist painting. So the cool thing about Impressionist painting is that it's little tiny dashes of color. Who just said that he's their favorite artist? I have so many favorite artists. I can't just pick one. I swear. What did I do? Oh, where's my comments? Tessa, I need tech support. Am I still there, you guys? There we go. Debbie Garcia. He is fabulous, isn't he? Anyway, Monet really, number one, he was a lover of all, very funny, Tessa. Impressionism is a detailed study in light, shadows, and colors. So if you think about that, and you think about that it's just little dashes of color, and those little dashes of color just capture the essence of the subject. So if you see my painting is a series of little dashes of color, and those, especially like when colors are butted up next to each other, they start to what do I want to say? They kind of start to optically blend. So you have a dominant color, certainly the blue is the dominant color in the painting. And then, but the water lilies, so I did a water lily painting after his 1914 water lily painting. You know, he did many water lily paintings, and so if you want, please research him more and you will, oh my golly, he was just such talent. And you know, here's an interesting factoid. The Impressionist art period then influenced Impressionist music and Impressionist literature. It's just a fascinating thing. And I was thinking, as I was writing my notes last night, about what I wanted to talk to you about, and all these different artists that we've been studying in a little brief way. They will influence your art. You will, by doing these little exercises in your art journal, you will pick up on little bits and pieces, and that's what makes a great artist, is that they grow and grow and grow from experience and from exposure to other people's art, and from inspiration. I mean, you don't want to copy it verbatim. Well, and none of us can copy Monet. He was he was brilliant. and he did it for years and years and years. His study of light and color is second to none. So one thing that I learned in art school, and I was just talking to Tessa about this the other day, was that in real life, things are not just one color. In real life, it may be slight, but all the colors are in each object. So just try to use every color. Even if it's super, super slight, try to use every color, because a little goes a long way. You will have so much more depth and texture and feeling in your paintings if you don't just stick with one color. Like, don't just paint a red apple. Paint an apple that has a little bit of orange and a little bit of yellow and a little bit of green and a little bit of purple. I mean, all of those things, all of those colors will bring your paintings to life more. So, without further ado, I'm going to, I'm really digging all of the hearts that we've been creating with these. I wish I would have done it more, and maybe I'll go back, but I'm thinking we do a heart for every artist that we've kind of studied. So I'm just roughly drawing a heart in my art journal. And then I'm just going to, remember, the higher up you hold your pencil, the looser you'll be. And the whole idea behind, hey Becky, the whole idea behind Impressionism is that it's kind of a loosey-goosey, like a loose interpretation of a scene. And Impressionism is named after their impressions of nature. That's kind of fascinating, isn't it? So I'm just going to lightly draw some lily pads. Just kind of really loosey-goosey and really have some like go off the edge, don't make them perfect ovals. Make them kind of really organic, like they would be in nature, right? So we're going to just continue that. We might have some that are behind one another. That's kind of cool. Is everybody drawing, or are you just watching me? Yes, I am wearing Frida today, Miss Tessa. I was thinking about you this morning. I started to watch the Salma Hayek Frida movie this morning, but it was all in Spanish. But I was thinking about you and your quest to improve your Spanish. Okay. So now that I have drawn my lily pads, remember that most lily pads have that little cutout. So I'm gonna cut it out, the little slice, and then erase the edge of the lily pad. This will help you visually and make them all different directions, because remember, they're floating in a pond. So we want them to be very random and organic. And remember, I like to, hey Rennie, can I tell you all of your artwork that you, who just said that? Can you show here's the finished one. Tessa, does that help? All of your artwork that you posted on the Facebook group, oh my gosh, that just got me through some dark days when my head was just spinning like crazy. When I start painting, I'm gonna pull the camera closer so you can see what I'm like my method of painting. I hope that that helps. Okay, Tess? Okay, so let's finish up with our remember to kind of draw as lightly as you can, but mine is a little bit dark because I want you guys to be able to see what I'm doing, but try to draw light because we're going to just paint right over it. And so I want you to be able to see what you're painting, but not have to fight with the pencil lines. I try really hard to just make my pencil lines part of my art. Kind of helps me with my shading sometimes. Let's do one. Oh my gosh, I just missed engaging with all of you. You know, Stephanie, I think, you know, I don't get it all the time, certainly, but I have gotten it a few times in my life, and they say stress is a big factor. Although I didn't think I was stressed, but you know, maybe we're living in a pretty stressful time, aren't we? So it might be that might be part of what's going on. And you know, I was feeling pretty pitiful and sorry for myself until I talked to a friend who said she had had it for 2 months. Can you even imagine it? Ugh, Lori, it is just awful, isn't it? You know what? That's crazy. Because I was thinking about low and high pressure systems. Because we've had such crazy hot weather this year. I don't know if it was I don't know. I just know that I woke up on Thursday morning and my head was so dizzy. It was like an ocean in my head. And that, you know, leads to nausea. Oh, it was terrible. Okay, so what I did was once I had my basic idea of what I wanted to paint, I started to just paint in my background. So I just did a really light wash. Remember, it is way easier to add paint than take away. So please go nice and slow with your application of your paint and very light. Very light. Hey, Cammie! There's my cousin, all the way from Green Bay. So we're studying Monet today, Cam. So we're just going to continue to fill in the water of Monet's pond, right? Is everybody painting along, or are you just watching? I mean, think about how you can incorporate this technique in your card making or your scrapbooking or whatever your genre is. I just think that the richer you can create your arsenal in your noggin, oh my gosh, you'll see the difference in your work. You'll see the depth come through. So I was gonna say, because we're going to be painting in dots, right? And we're going to be painting in the Impressionist style, we want to leave some white showing, and that will be our lightest light. So it will do some of the work for you, highlight wise. So it is hot as Hades here in Arizona. How about where you are? It is, no kidding around, like 112 today. It is crazy, crazy. Jeff's already been in the pool, and I will be going in there, I'm sure, after class today. Normally I would be turning my art journal, but I'm trying to keep it in the frame this time. I'm using my Prima Classic art palette today. I have started to venture into the world of handmade watercolors. Holy tamale, they are amazing. They are so amazing. And you're gonna get totally different colors. And the cool thing about the handmade ones is each batch is gonna be slightly different, and that's cool. So I will show those in the video of me painting the Tessa art paintable a little later. So you really want it to be super light and watery, because remember, this is just like our base, right? We're going to come in and build color as we go along. And another cool thing I will say is you want it to have all of these little blooms of color, because it's like a pond, right? A pond is going to have many colors and depth and lots of highs and lows under the surface that will create the darks and lights. Okay, so that is my base. I did want to talk to you about, there is a way of painting that kind of came into fashion during the Impressionist period, and it's called scrumbling, and it's a dry brush painting technique. So it's applying thin layers of, let's see if I find something, thin layers of paint with a dry brush and a loose hand over an existing layer. Does that make sense? So you're just gonna kind of come in and just like barely touch the surface of whatever it is that you're wanting to, where you're wanting to grow that object. And the thing about scrumbling is you can use it in many applications. It adds depth, it adds texture, it builds highlights, it smooths transitions from one color to another. It makes you can make slight adjustments in the shape of things. You can build your highlights. It's fabulous. And so we'll be doing that today. So now I'm going to lower my camera, so look away if you're slightly vertigo-ish. but I think that this will help with me showing you the technique of applying little dashes of color, capturing the essence of the subject, which is lily pads. So I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna get some green. I have some green up here on my palette that I've used in the past. So I'm just going to wet that. It has a little bit of yellow in it, and that kind of is even sweeter. So I'm going to use that. And I'm going to seriously just start. Where am I? Where's the... So seriously, we're just going to start with little dashes of color. Remember, we're just going to kind of this is not a quick way to paint, so I want you to just let go of all of that right now. We're just going to take our time, and I like to kind of go all over my my painting, and just paint some dashes and then go on to another area so that I don't overwork one area over another. You know what I mean? Because we can do that without even knowing it. So we're just going to keep working that green of the lily pads. So I will tell you right now, if everyone is painting, I worked on my painting on and off for like a week. I would just like do a layer and let it dry, and then I'd kind of come back to it. And I'd think about, oh, maybe I'll add some pinks today, or I need to deepen that blue around the edges of the lily pads. I know, Keels, don't you love that blue? It's so pretty. I did find that, so Stephanie, you know, I don't know if vertigo has anything to do with migraines. All I can tell you is it is miserable. It is so, so miserable. Isn't it, Lori? Like, I can't tell you how miserable. So you'll notice also that my paint for this first layer is super watery, super light. Like, we're just letting it build slowly by slowly, because this looks real polka dotty, but I'm telling you, we're just going to keep adding colors and adding colors, and before you know it, things will start to take shape, and that's really cool. I hope everybody is having a good week, and finding peaceful things to fill your mind with, because the ickiness is, you know, it's going to be there no matter what, no matter how hard we try, I think sometimes. But for me, I know that I kind of need to, protect my little artsy fartsy heart, you know, because it can be too much for me. I know myself. So I just lose myself in paint. and then I'm a better person. Hey, Judy, 2 cousins in one day. How did I get so lucky? Remember I told you I have 73 first cousins, and only 2 of them are here today. So scrumbling, Keely, I'll tell you again, and maybe would it be better if I put it in the notes? And if I forget to do that, somebody please remind me. It's not that I'm forgetting on purpose or deliberately. Not, you know, I mean, you know me well enough now that you know my noggin just works in a different way. So scrumbling is dry brush painting. So it's applying a thin layer of paint with a dry brush and a loose hand over an existing layer, right? So this is, my brush was dry at one point, but I'm just gonna slowly, and you know, I like to do that tap, tap, tap method of painting. But I'll show you the scrumbling, scrumbling and pointillism. Those are 2 of my favorite methods of painting in art school, because I felt like I could control the narrative. Do you know what I mean? I could adjust things. I could Cammie and Judy, I have an impressionist painting of my dad hanging at their house. You'll have to go see it. It's him sitting in a chair. I did it in art school. It's one of my favorite things I ever did. And you know, he's one of my favorite guys. My cute old dad. So scrumbling, so like I said, it's a dry brush over with a layer of paint. Let's see. Okay, so here's my brush. So say I wanted to, let's see, I'm gonna put a layer of this blue. I just put a little bit of blue onto a dry brush, and I'm gonna just little by, let's see, where can I, here, I'm gonna try and work on this edge right here. Is that, can we see that? Let's see. Yeah. So I'm just going to, little by little, adjust the edge of this lily pad. Do you see how I can, if I played with it long enough, I can make a slight adjustment to the shape of this lily pad. I could take another dry brush and let's see, I'll get some white up here. And I'm gonna take, this brush is dry, so I'm gonna take a little bit of that white, and I'm just gonna come in here and ever so slightly there. You see this slight get some more of that white. No, I wasn't doing scrumbling with the green keels, but I am here with the white. There we go. See a little bit more. So you can, remember what I said, you can create highlights, you can create softer transition. By creating highlights, you're going to be creating depth, certainly. And remember, the Impressionists were masters at light. So for me, my light source is over here on the side where my letters are. You remember we talked about, you can have your light source be, you just decide where your light source is, and it can be anywhere, right? It can be anywhere in your painting, but those little bits of light are going to really, I know that looking at it up close right now, it doesn't feel like I'm doing much, but that's the beauty of Impressionist painting, is that up close it kind of looks like a mess. Like, it doesn't look like, it doesn't have, it's not a subject that has a clear line between things, but you have to trust your imagination and let your imagination do some of the work. So now I'm going to come back in with some watery blue, and I'm going to start some dots here. So I know that if my light source is over here on my right side, that on the left side, that's where I'm going to start to build up some shadowing, right? So inside of the slice in the lily pad, it's going to be dark, but not complete. Like, we're not going to just swash it with a big stroke of blue. We're just going to, little by little. So this side, we're going to build up some shadow, and we're going to have it kind of drag it out over here because the light is shining. And remember, your light is going to be in like so many, remember I told you everything has many colors in it, and light bounces off things. I mean, we could go on and on and on about that, but so it's not always completely cut and dry where your shadowing is, but like little by little, we're going to build it. And remember, I told you I like to go all over my painting, because if I do that, then I'm not, one area doesn't look all done and the rest looks like I've got to try and match it. If I just do some speckles over here, and then I come down here and I do some down here, then we're kind of like the whole painting. I mean, this is just my theory, but you know, take that with a grain of salt. But I don't want anything to look completely uniform, you know? How's everybody doing? I know it's kind of weird to be painting along and I'm talking, but you'd have to type, but ooh, a margarita. Well, I have a Diet Coke and a glass of water, but a margarita does sound nice. On a hot day like today, that's for sure. So remember we talked about that if you have an area that has a lot of paint, you can come in there and if you touch it ever so slightly with your brush, it's gonna soak up that paint and then you can move that paint onto another area. So you see, this is not, like I said, it is not a painting method that is quick. You might think it looks like it's quick, but it's not. Because there's kind of a lot of thought that goes into where am I going to put these colors and how is it going to create the look I'm kind of going for, you know? And remember, we're just building slowly. I could just paint forever and a day. You know what, Lori? It's on my Alexa's, and it's oh, I forgot what they called it. Something classic. Oh, classic piano solos or something like that. I know, it's just nice, isn't it? I've started to just try to listen to instrumental things because I had a video removed on Instagram because I had Electric Light Orchestra playing. I don't know. You know what? I suppose I should look into what music I can use and what I can't use. My cousin Ashley, Cammie's sister, she always puts this disclaimer about I don't own the rights to this music or something. She owns a dance studio that's amazing and a fabulous bar called the 313 in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan. Okay, so let's see. I'm thinking I want to come in with something. Hey Melina, how are you? I miss your face too. It's just a crazy time in our world, isn't it? It's just so crazy. You can't really explain it to anyone. So I'm going to come in with a little bit darker blue. I think I'm going to try a littler brush. Hey Sharon, how are things in Nebraska today? I'm just going to little bits of blue. Remember, the places where you know it's going to be super dark, like in between these two lily pads where they meet, you know it's probably going to be pretty dark. Right here, it's going to be pretty dark. Here on the edge, here, and we're going to move around. Let's just say that right there, that little bit of a in here. This edge. We did have a great time at the 313, didn't we, Keels? One time, so I have this group of friends, we call ourselves the Magnificent Seven, and we all hail from different places, and we like to share where we're from. And so we've traveled far and near, that's for sure. Keely is from Chicagoland, and so we've gone to Chicago. We've, sorry, got all involved in my blue there. We've gone to Maine, Houston, Dallas, Colorado. Keels, help me out. Where else have we gone? Anyway, one year, one year we were lucky enough, Palm Springs last year. One year I was lucky enough to show off Michigan. One of the friends, Sherry, lives in Sparta, and so she and I planned this fabulous Michigan trip. We stayed in Sutton's Bay for my two cousins there. They might know. Anyway, I showed them Grandma Chickie's house and the little church in Payment, and we went to in front of Sandy's house because it's so pretty down there, and we went to Ashley's bar and had a few cocktails. We did so many things on that trip. Oh my gosh. Every trip we think that we're going to, maybe this one won't be as great as the last one, but you know what? It always is. We always have ourselves a time. Always, always. Ooh, I just love it. It's just really starting to take shape. Are yours starting to take shape, girls? Are your paintings starting to take shape? I think I like Monet because it's all water, and Michigan is all water and, you know, flowers. Michigan has we come from a place called Sugar Island, and there's the most beautiful wildflowers you've ever seen. And I like a wildflower kind of wherever I am. Like the bluebonnets, of Texas. Those are awfully pretty, but there's just nothing like my home. That's for sure. Let's go here. So do you see, you know what? I'm gonna go back. I just noticed something. Let's do some green here along this. I know, Sarah, it's so pretty, isn't it? The beaches are absolutely lovely. And we stayed in this Airbnb that was right on Grand Traverse Bay. It was so beautiful. I can't even, it was lovely. I told myself that Jeff and I were going to go back there, and you know, well, that didn't happen. But you know, someday. Coming back in with a little bit more green. Hi, Heather. Cape Cod. We went to Cape Cod. And I'm lucky enough that one of the states that I've drawn recently, I'm drawing all 50, but one of the state embroidery patterns that I drew was Massachusetts. And so I got to draw, and I drew some stamps of Massachusetts. So I got to draw lots of places that I've been and things that I saw. And my friend Timmy, who is one of the 7, she noticed that I drew a witch hat for Salem. Oh my gosh, which reminds me. So this week I had my first virtual doctor's appointment. That's weird. I'm just going to tell you. But anyway, I was telling my husband that I made this appointment for this virtual doctor's appointment. And he said, "Oh, are you going to see Dr. Bombay?" And only if you loved Bewitched will you remember why that's so cool. Anyway. Hey, Sue. Thank you. I love those Oklahoma stamps too. So then I was talking to the Magnificent 7 about it, and they totally got it. And then I was talking to Tessa about it, and she had no idea what I was talking about. Whatever. So I said, get on your computer and go watch an episode of Bewitched that has Dr. Bombay. Calling Dr. Bombay. Emergency. Come right away. How is everybody doing? Okay? Is everyone okay? So let's see. Let's make a little deeper green. So I'm going to add a little bit of blue to my green. Make it a little bit deeper. And we're going to start to build with that. So if you are mixing a color, take a moment and pat your brush on your paper towel or your art cloth, and then come back and get a little paint so it's not so saturated with paint that it's going to make a big blurb on your painting. So anyway, I'm going to come back in with this deeper green. So like this, we know that this edge we want nice and deep, because we want it to kind of look like it's kind of almost like rolling over the edge of the heart. Remember, there's going to be highs and lows of these lily pads. We're just little by little. So how is this camera angle? Is it too close? Is it too far away? Is it good? Do you feel like you can see better? Do I need to adjust it and make it a little closer again, or is this good? Ugh, Lori, I can't wait until we can make art together again. Feels like forever, doesn't it? Ugh. It's just the craziest, it's just a weird time. My friend and I were just talking about it. There's no other way to describe it besides weird. Hey, Pam. You don't need to start over. We can correct almost anything with paint. Do you see how we're slowly building? That's a little, the shape of our lily pads and the waves and ripples of our pond. So we can add some color little by little on the other side of our gross me out. I can't believe he's watching stinking Contagion. Gosh, he needs to just come over and hang out with his cousin a little bit, Catherine. We can add a little bit of color to the edge, maybe where it seems like it might be a super light area, but if we add a little bit of definition to that area, it'll be easier to continue to grow it when we add, I know, I'll come over there and you send John over here, so, and then we'll just have ourselves a time. What do you think of that? I think it'll be fab. So remember, here's where two lily pads meet, so we know that it's going to be a little bit dark here. So I am barely touching my paper now with my brush. And I'm kind of doing my dot, dot, dot. Because remember, you can always make things darker. You can't. It's really hard, especially in this, to take paint away. I mean, it's possible, but it's hard. And why would you make things difficult on yourself? You know what I mean? What was the other thing I was just going to say? Oh, if you are mixing a custom color, make sure that you mix more than you think you'll use, because it stinks to run out and try and get that same color again. It's possible, but you know. So remember we talked last week, I think? No, not last week. Last week was the down on the couch week. We talked a little while ago about paintbrushes and them having snap, and having different sizes. Like this is I think it's a number 2. No, it's a number 1. And it's pretty, the bristles are quite stiff on the connoisseur brushes, and I like a brush that has a stiffer bristle, lots of snap, for detail-y things. For washes, I want something like this 8 from Royal Langnickel. It still has pretty decent snap, but it's more bristles, and so it's softer. Does that make sense? So if I'm doing detail-y things like dots and dots and dots and dots, and I know that I want it to go kind of where I'm pointing it. Do you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? So, oh, I was going to talk about the pencil lines. So, like this lily pad is on top of this lily pad, and we have a pretty clear pencil line there. But if we just start to stipple our green, darker green, on top of that line, we've kind of, we're working that pencil line out. Do you know what I mean? And we can like let that dry and go back and add some more. Look here, let's add some here. Let's add some here. How's everyone doing? I'm going to come in with some more green, make these a little more defined. Those are really green, aren't they? So we're going to rectify that by taking our paper towel and touching to it. Like barely touching to it, and being a little more careful this time around. Remember, we're going to try and work out that pencil line. So took some of the green that's right in the palette of these classics, and I added a little bit of yellow to lighten it just a little bit. But then I could come in and just take straight yellow and start adding that. Right? And it doesn't have to be a lot. It could just be a little. So I'm thinking I want the yellow to be in the places that are light, right? So here I'm just adding a little bit of yellow here, because that's gonna grow our light areas too, isn't it? Like look like dappled sunlight. There's nothing prettier than that, I don't think. Dappled sunlight on, like on a pond or any kind of body of water. Anybody watching anything good on TV this week? I've started watching a lot of shows on HGTV because the news never breaks in on HGTV. I don't want to listen to the news. Unorthodox, we watched that too. Jeff is Jewish, and oh my golly, it was just so meaningful, you know, and just a fascinating look into that world, isn't it, Rennie? It was just, I mean, he's not Orthodox or anything, but holy smokes, it was so good. It was so good. Okay, shall we get brave and add a little something something? Let's try a little bit of pink. Where in the world would we add? Tessa, you know what? I'm sure Jeff and I will watch it on the replay. And you know what's so crazy? I just drew Cape Canaveral for the Florida embroidery pattern. Isn't that crazy? Let's see. So little by little, we're adding this pink. I found the unorthodox, I found it interesting because it was created kind of how they felt so desperate, you know, that they wanted to create their own society almost. And we certainly have a lot of that going on these days, don't we? One is no better than the other. That pink just brightens up everything, doesn't it? That pink against that green, especially because remember, pink and green are opposite on the color wheel. Is anybody getting brave enough to add some different colors? So you see that this is a painting that takes a bit, you know? Hey, Monica. Hey, Trace, how are you? Tracy owns the most fabulous store that I've never been to, but I have a goal. I have a goal of going. Her store is Paper Craft Clubhouse in Westbrook, Connecticut. And she has a fabulous Facebook Live every Thursday morning at 9 Eastern Time that I, for the last few weeks, have been waking up entirely too tired, and too late to catch her fabulousness. But she and Jackie do the best Facebook Lives. We gotta keep supporting those local stores, you know? Try a local store first before you go to the big Amazon. I am just as guilty of buying things from Amazon, but please try a local store first. They won't be there if we don't support them. All right, let's see. What color shall we add next? Tracy is the coolest. Lauren has been there. She's our Connecticut girl. Let's see. Ooh, how about orange? That might be pretty. How are we doing on time? Lauren, Tessa? I can't see what time it is. Have I been blathering on and on for entirely too long? So I'm going to add little bits of orange. Tracy, we only speak the truth. Are you calling us liars? I didn't think so. We love you. And she has open stock Prismacolors and open stock, oh gosh, what else have I bought? Copics, and she has a Copic refill station. Shut it! And she has lots of artsy goodness there. Oh, we're over an hour. All right, girls, how is everyone feeling? Are you feeling like you could go on? Today seems like it went fast. I guess because I missed you all so much. It just feels like forever. Clean color brush pens. That's right. You know what? I will tell you, I've been trying very hard to support all of my local scrapbook paper art stores friends. And I will tell you, there's nothing like getting a box of artsy goodness in the mail. There's nothing like it. So I'm going to do a little bit more on these lily pads. But you know what I'm thinking? I'm going to start adding a little bit of, oh, designs for stickers. Oh, I don't know. Certainly something that I can look into. So I'm going to start adding some orange to the water. I know that seems a little weird, but remember, we're going to have reflections and the light play on the water. we're just going to start working that. Working that color. So I just mixed my the turquoisey blue and the navier blue to create a different shade. And now I have this vision where I wanted to kind of create an edge on my heart because I want to give my heart some dimension. And so I was thinking, oh, that's thick. I could work out my aggression. No, I'm kidding. Work out my pencil line with my paint. So if I start here with this blue and I just work out the edges. And then I can come back with a little deeper blue. But remember, with just that tap, tap, tap. You never get heavy-handed if you do it that way. If you just tap, tap, tap color. Remember, it's just a slow build. And another thing that when I actually got to teach in person, that seems like forever ago. But anyway, I would tell people, like, as you're painting, every now and again, get up and walk across the room. Go make yourself a sandwich. Go get a drink. Go walk around your house. Go outside. Whatever. And then come back. You will see your painting with fresh eyes. And if there's an issue that needs to be rectified, you'll see it differently. And you'll probably like what you painted a lot more. Because right now, we're so right on top of it. You don't see all the progress that you've made as much as if you go away. So, and I'm telling you, it doesn't have to be for like 2 days or anything. Although, in art school, they used to make us, as we were painting, put your painting at the front of the class and then like go get a pop out of the pop machine or whatever, and then come back and you would see it so differently. It was crazy. So, I'm feeling like I am gonna work on this edge all the way, and then just know you're just gonna start to fill and fill and fill and fill. It is a teeny brush. Look, I think I'm connoisseur number 1, Trace. It is, but it's just, oh my gosh, I'm telling you, it's fabulous. Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. So, the takeaways for today is you're going to fill it with little, tiny, small, thin, yet visible brush strokes, right? Open composition, and remember your composition is the placement and arrangement of your visual elements, little dashes of color that are going to start to build and build your painting. Certainly the depth and the texture of your painting, but you're also remember, you're going to be optically blending with those little bits of color. So just take your time, take it slow, slowly build those colors, and remember to try and use every color. Maybe not brown, but you could if you wanted. Try to use every color, even if it's just a little tiny bit. And I'm telling, and your painting will take on new life. And be sure to visit my website and purchase the new Tessa art printable. And remember, look forward to me having another video that is my painting process for the Columbines. Be sure to visit Catherine Kelly's YouTube today and check out her video using my Artist in Residence art printable. And if you are so inclined, visit paperhouseclubhouse.com. Tracy's store is all online. Here are a few of my other friends that have brick and mortar stores that we need to keep open. Scrapbook and Memories in Harrisville, Kansas. Their store is online also. Paper Arts Edmond in Oklahoma. K & Crafts in Moorhead, Minnesota. We have gone to that store, my sister and I, and it's fabulous. Winneconne Crafts in Winneconne, Wisconsin. And you know what? We've been there too, and we taught a class, and it was fantastic. The Doodlebug Ink in Jasper, Indiana. Ooh, I need to move up, don't I? Whoa. Can everybody see that? Is everybody getting sick? Scraps of Love, Peoria, Arizona. Scrappy Chic, Livonia, Michigan. Paper and I, Marshall, Michigan. Simple Pleasures, Colorado Springs, Colorado. And Scrappin' in the City in Knoxville, Tennessee. Oh, that's so crooked. Oh, sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. Anyway, thank you all for joining me today, and I will see you in a little bit with my painting video, and next Saturday with another little art appreciation, art journaling class. Thanks so much, guys. Bye.